Welcome, beauties. My name is Diane McKendrick, and I thank Anastasia so much for having me here tonight. This is the business training for the week, and I'm so honoured to be here and share my inspiration and share my journey and share, just my experience, and hopefully be able to help you shift and change some maybe limiting ideas or beliefs that are holding you back into really empowering, beautiful beliefs and ideas that can catapult you forward and create a life of direction and creativity and inspiration and all the things that you'd love to experience in your life. So first thing we'll do, if you haven't already, get your oils out. I just did some oil training on bergamot and black pepper. So a drop of each of that for me in my hands. Oil of acceptance and the oil of unmasking. And just breathe that in. So beautiful. So tonight's business call, it's about, for me in my experience, I've heard a lot of people talking about looking for builders, or talking about when they look at rank and the tree, they just are like so confused or uncertain, or it's not for them. So what I'd love to offer for you tonight is, a different way of looking at things. I've started doing some sacred business training, and my intention with tonight's call and with all the women mainly and men that I work with is to have you feel what's going on up here and be really conscious and aware of it, and what's going on in here and be really conscious and aware of it and honour it, and then connect the two. And I feel like when we can do that and be supported by a group of beautiful people and supported by the essential oils, then the ranking will just take care of itself. So the first thing I like to offer to people is, I don't even call it a rank advancement, because I think it's a soul advancement. I believe that your business or your organisation, or your blissness, as Anastasia and Zach call it, is a direct reflection on how you feel about yourself. So for me, in my experience, if something's happening in my business and things have stagnated or they're not going anywhere, I just stop and I tune into myself and think, what am I going through? What are my beliefs at the moment? What am I thinking about? Where is my energy going? And every single time, so if I'm feeling flat and unmotivated, procrastinating for whatever reasons, I have to dig down a little bit deeper and work out, what belief idea is holding me there and have me there. Because when I can expand through that and work through that, then my business changes as well. It's not that I see this happen a lot in businesses outside of doTerra, and sometimes in doTerra. Something's going on in the business. Oh my gosh, I need to get out there and pound the pavement. I've got to make more phone calls. I've got to start cold calling people. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I've got to, and that just doesn't work for me. A lot of us are women, and I thrive in my feminine. And you're a woman too, most of you on here tonight. So you will thrive in your feminine. So it's important for us to drop the competition, really tune in, take inspired action. And that's not saying you don't have work to do. Yes, you can't sit on a mountaintop and just manifest it and call it in. That's part of it. Yes, we manifest, we call things in, we be really clear, we set intentions, but that is then followed up with inspired action. And what I mean by that is something like this. If you have a list of 100 people, like one of the first things doTerra asked us to do is a list of 100 people. And initially I found that really distasteful, because my belief was that then I was going to be asked to call that 100 people. And I was like, I'm not into that. But that was just from a past experience. So then what I decided to do was look at it differently. And I thought, I can write the list of 100 people, or 200 or 300, however many you want, and really feel into that and send those people love. And for me, it didn't mean I had to put them on the to-do list and pick up and phone. It was an energetic gateway opening up between my heart and their heart. So what happened for me was, I realised when I got it out of my head and onto paper, that energetically there was a gateway that had opened, and just something started to flow, to the point where I put a lady on my list. And she's a person, she's got a livelihood. I hadn't seen her in 20 years. I knew her from school. Literally the very next day, And you'll hear these stories all the time. The next day, I didn't know this, she'd been following all my posts on Facebook, and she contacts me and she says, Di, I've been watching what you've been doing for years. I'm really interested in that. I want a part of that. I want to do with women what you're doing. So I had connected with her emotionally when I put her on that list. It's amazing. And the difference is, you don't have to call them, but it calls them in, and then you can go, how can I help this person? How can my heart and this product and this team help this person? So it's just that energetic gateway to open up for people. The other thing for me in sacred business is honouring your cycles. Like, do the work when you feel like doing the work. Be really aware and switched on to in your cycle when you want to be around people, when you want to reach out to people, because there's definitely a week or so where I'm just like, I want to stay in bed and pull the doona over my head, and I don't, and I've got 2 little kids. So I get out and I do all my paperwork then, or I call my accountant then, I don't know, but I don't go out and mingle when I'm finding it really hard energetically to do that. So it's about honouring your cycle and just knowing where you're at and really feeling into it. So the other thing is, I hear a lot of people say is, I'm looking for builders, I'm calling builders in, I'm manifesting them, I've got my lists. And to be honest, I did the same thing for a very long time, because my belief, once again, it's a belief from a past experience or something I'd heard or seen, that for my business to take off, I need builders. However, I have since realised I don't need builders. I mean, I do, but I don't need them right now, because they will come to me in the perfect divine timing. What I need to do right now is be the builder. Be the builder that I want to attract. And that for me is about getting these essential oils and this community and love into as many lives as I possibly can. So instead of putting my energy and my intention out here in attracting a builder, I just focus on I've done all my manifestations and visualizations and calling in, and I just let that be now, instead of just focusing on it. I want this, I want this, I want this. I'm like, how do I be that person? So all the qualities that I'm calling in for a builder, then I will just start to cultivate in myself, and then let the oils do the work. The people are there. Once the oils get into the home, if you love people, if you support people, if you educate people, if you empower, I get goosebumps. If you empower people, they will eventually, or some people will and some people won't, but the ones that it's the right time for will switch on. So we hold that space for them and we hold that vision, but in the moment it's about sharing. And I want you to think about, just close your eyes for a moment, because in doTerra we use this word sharing a lot. And I want you just to shut your eyes and become really aware of what is sharing to you. Let's not just make it a word anymore. Let's make it a feeling. Let's make it a connection. Let's make it a glint and a look and a knowing and a remembering in the eye when you look at someone else. Let's make it those goosebumps moments when you've just helped another mother or another person get a full night's sleep. Can you feel that? Can we make that what sharing is for us? So what I would love to see you all do, yes, call in your builders, be really clear about who you do want to attract, but most importantly, ask yourself, who do I need to be, or the qualities that I need and what I want to do, and focus on that and share. So go out and do the 2x2 by 2+1, the workshops, the wellness consults, and let's just break it down. What I see happening a lot is a lot of people have these grand visions and goals, and that's great. We need that. We definitely need that. But let's bring ourselves to this very present moment, and this is what I want you to ask yourself right now. What do I need right now to take the next step in my business? And shut your eyes and take a deep breath. Breathe out. And what just came to you? Just one thing. You don't need more than one thing. You just have one thing and you can do that. So if it's sharing, getting out there and doing 2 workshops, or let's just start with 2 contacts. So we're all at different phases, and we're all at different places. So where I'd love to start, this is a short call, it's only 30 minutes, but let's just start at the beginning. When I first started with DoTerra, I was painfully shy. And what I needed to start doing was just changing the way I presented myself, not the way that I look, but the way I felt about myself, so I could genuinely connect and share with people, because the story of my shyness was blocking me from looking people in the eye. So for you, it might be entering a room and just creating that connection. This is all about connection. The oils do the work. You never have to sell an oil, because the oils do that, right? But what it is, how can I serve more people? How can I help more people? We can share. And let's just start with that. So how do I walk into a room and feel comfortable in myself when I'm not really? Cover yourself in this, little baby. It helps. Frankincense is another really good one. So let's just start with making eye contact with people. And this is the process that I went through. I've had a lot of practice now, because I'm really into expanding and pushing myself through those boundaries and jumping in the deep end and all those things. I went to the gym the other day, to the creche. I even get a bit tight in my throat talking about it. And people look from the outside in at me. I present really well, and I appear to be really confident, and I'm slowly working away at it, and things are improving for me, but it's not always the way that I feel on the inside. We talked about unmasking earlier. Sometimes the masks that you can wear can be helpful. So for me, just, sharing this, and I don't share it with too many people, but I really feel like this might help some of you. So I'm going to share going to the creche to talk to them about putting diffusers in. My palms were sweaty. I had a lump in my throat, and I nearly walked out the door. It happened to me about 3 or 4 times last week, and I was like, no, what have I, like, if I walk out that door and I don't offer her this opportunity because I'm scared, then I take that away from her. And when I thought about it like that, and I just sat with the lump in my throat, and I had my sweaty palms, and my face was red, and I just sat with that and was like, take a deep breath, just keep walking, set that intention and walk in there and share it. So she was, I had a conversation with her. She was a lovely lady. I've created another friendship out of it. I didn't get diffusers in every single gym in Good Life in Queensland, Australia, who knows. But more so for me, that was like a huge step forward, because I actually realised how nervous sometimes I still get. And I've heard so many of the leaders, the really leaders that I follow in doTERRA, just say they still get those feelings sometimes, and it's okay. It's just about feeling it, being aware of it, and just pushing through it. Well, not even pushing through it, but just stepping through it, step through to the other side. So just pick one thing that you can do this week and start making connections. The other huge thing that I've noticed in sharing, which is so important, is I think a lot of us in this day are like instant gratitude. I want to talk to this person, I want to get them a kit, and then I want to get it in their home, and then I'm going to do the wellness consult, this, that, and the other. For me, what I've realised is everything happens in divine time, and it's really about honouring that, offering the opportunity and continuing to share in the sense of talking to people, looking them in the eye, presenting yourself in a way that's really easy to talk to, and being real and being authentic. And just, if that's not for you, don't do workshops. If you're better one-on-one, start there, and then you can build up to workshops if you want. I've got a lot of ladies on my team, just do it all online. It's not for me. I was lucky enough the other day to speak in front of a couple of 100 people, and I didn't ever in my wildest dreams think that I would be able to do that. But with the community and the oils, I got up there and I made an impact and I made a difference. So I just want to share that, because just, sitting there, and all you need to do is wear your oils, share from a really authentic, loving place, in a way that suits and aligns you with you. So if that's Like I said, do the one-on-ones, do it online, do it whatever it weighs for you, but pick something right now in this moment that you're comfortable with, that's stretching you slightly, because that's what we're here for, and that's what these business meetings are for. It's about pushing you slightly out of your comfort zone, and then we support. So you're expanded slightly. We support you until that trait or whatever it is you're wanting becomes your new normal. So you don't have to think about it anymore. It's just your new normal. And then when that happens, we pick the next thing. So it's not this overwhelming big thing. Oh, I've got to get up and speak in front of 300 people. No, you don't. Oh, I've got to be diamond by the end of the year. If you want to, yes, you can, and I can help you, or Anastasia can, or your leaders can support you to do that. But if you've got to be really clear about your why and why you're doing this, because that's what's going to get you through those moments, like me at the gym walking to that woman. I thought, who's going to miss out if I walk out that door? The mums, the lady I was talking to, the friendships I've created. Yeah, so just pick one thing, be supported through it, and then pick, when it's your normal, pick the next thing, be supported through it. And I also want you to all start thinking, like, take this guidance from us and really embrace it and embody it, because it works. I see it every day and I feel it every single day. But just start thinking, when it's worked for you and you've had that experience, how can then you offer what's worked for you to someone else? Because if you are looking at building this organization and business, all these little things that we're doing and that you're going through, you'll look back and go, oh, I remember how much those words or that comment or that strategy, helped me and worked through it. I had a belief, once again, a belief for such a long time, because I wasn't a qualified psychologist, or I didn't have a degree, or I didn't have this, I couldn't help people. Well, that was just a story I'd been telling myself forever. So what stories are you telling yourself that are holding you back? And yeah, I did it for such a long time, and it stopped me from serving people, and it stopped me from helping people. So I just want to start creating that awareness of what you're currently thinking and feeling, which is creating your reality. So if you're feeling stuck, there's a belief or something going on in your head that's holding you there. So we need to uncover it and talk to it and make a decision. Do I want to keep thinking and feeling this way, or say no deal, I'm going to cut this pattern out, because that's what it is, it's a pattern. And then we create new, like fire and ignite all those neurons. Do your meditations and use your oils and start rewiring your brain to get a different outcome. So, the main thing is, and I think I've said this a few times now, is to share from your heart, share from your authenticity and your love for the product, share in order to help people and serve as many people as you can. And do that in a way that's aligned to you and feels good. If you need support, reach out. But yeah, just get out there. And it's not about having one massive, main, awesome builder. It's about collectively getting a massive community of like-minded people that support and love and have an unshakable belief in this product because it works. And when that can happen, we are all the builders in our own right. So does that make sense? Like, you really, I think we just focus on this one magical unicorn or two or three magical unicorns, but when we just bring it back, we've already got it right here within us, within our organisation. It's about shifting and changing what we're currently thinking, believing and feeling. Like I said about the organisation and how that's a reflection on you. What you see in other people is a part of you as well. So if you see all this in everybody else and you see the beauty in your team, then know that that's part of you. So it's probably getting late over there for you guys. I think it's like 9:30. So I am going to conclude on that. But I would just love, for you guys to get off this call and just pick one thing. Pick one thing that mattered, and you can report back to me, send me an email. Because it's good for me to know what's helping people as well. Send me an email or Facebook, Diane McKendrick. And yeah, thank you, Anastasia, so much for having me on the call. And I guess I'll see you all around in convention if I don't see you beforehand.